Perfect. 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 What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome back on into Philly Take with RB. We have been covering the entire Sixers free agency, and that's right, we have some more breaking news. Well, not technically breaking news, given the fact it came out about 9 to 10 hours ago at 1 in the morning. Here on the East Coast. Who drops that they are signing with a team at 1 in the morning? I don't know. Very interesting there. But anyway, we are going to talk about that and some other news that literally just happened a few minutes ago. So be sure to stay tuned into the entire video. And like always, guys, if you are enjoying this content, please hit the like button for me. Help push this content out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And ring that bell so you get all of the notifications. Okay, let's talk about it. So as of the breaking news of 9 hours ago, the Philadelphia 76ers are re-signing Danny Green, 34-year-old Danny Green, to a 2-year, $20 million deal. This comes literally from his close friend and podcast co-host, Harrison Sanford. Again, I don't know why this came out at 1 in the morning. He says, Green shot 40% from 3 this season on 6.3 attempts. Green had 1.3 steals per game, tied for a career best, and 0.8 blocks per game after playing in 69 of 72 regular season games. He goes on to say that Danny Green, throughout the free agent process, had discussions with several teams, including the Brooklyn Nets, potential Dinwiddie sign and trade, Boston, Milwaukee, Chicago, Golden State, and more. Imagine if we would have, landed a Dinwiddie or someone like that. That would have been crazy. Green most recently opted against a 2-year offer from Cleveland. And in this, thread of tweets, they were trying to, show some clips from their show this season, Inside the Green Room. I've referenced it multiple times here on my show before. It's a great podcast. I really do enjoy listening to it, though, and getting some of the, inside insight from Danny Green and Harrison Sanford. So it's a great show. And then the last thing that he put out as an addition says, more details. The second year on the deal is a team option. This is huge, guys. Let's first and foremost just talk about this real quick. The Sixers bring back Danny Green. And to be honest, at the end of the day, this is a very good move, guys. This is a very solid move. We know the things that were said by Danny Green, and, a lot of people criticized him and, said you really didn't have your place here in Philly for you to be saying things like that. And I do agree. I still don't like the things he said. I do think that Philly may even boo him on the first game just for saying those kind of things. But at the end of the day, that came after, maybe a week after what he had said about Ben Simmons, not being aggressive enough, and just pretty much how the team needed to push him in some areas. And I thought that was spot on. And I actually made a prediction. If this was true, well, you heard it here first. I actually thought that maybe Danny Green tried to recoup himself there in the next episode when we all criticized him, to try to up Ben's trade value, and just in case Ben does stay on this team, he doesn't, really want to have bad blood. That was kind of my prediction, because how could you go from saying one thing to then saying the other like that? At the end of the day, Philly fans won't forget that. We definitely will not forget that you said that. But at the end of the day, I think it'll be a little easier to look past that than, for example, what a guy like Ben Simmons did in the playoffs. But anyway, getting a little bit off track there. Danny Green coming back to this team needed to happen. It's a great move. He is a great glue guy for this team. As, Harrison Sanford said, he's going to shoot 40% from 3. He's going to hold his own in terms of perimeter defense. Now, he is getting a bit slower as he gets older. Actually, a lot slower, as we saw this year. Sometimes he looked like a turtle running around out there. But at the end of the day, he's just way too valuable. He's a known champion. He brings that experience to your locker room. He's a great vet to have. And to be honest, how I see this process having played out, I really think that the Sixers had their sights set on Danny Green the entire time. I think that Danny was weighing the playing field. I think that the Sixers were probably weighing the market, right? Trying to see what value was there on the playing field as well in terms of the market. But over the first few days of free agency, I would estimate that as the Sixers started to see all these other shooters go off the board, I think Daryl Morey took a long look in the mirror and said, you know what? We need Danny Green back. We need a guy like this back here who's going to help us try to win a championship this year. And this kind of just confirms the belief that we are still trying to go all in this year. And bringing a guy like Danny Green back is just huge for this team. It's huge for the locker room. And, he just knows how to space the floor. He knows how to play within the offense. We started to see him get very comfortable in the second half of the year. And going into the playoffs, he was obviously a bit cold. And then he got hurt. So his quest for 3 straight championships in a row with 3 different teams, do you count it or not? I think it's kind of paused, to be honest. I think it should be paused because, well, he got hurt. He didn't get the chance to continue. And to be honest, if he didn't get hurt, even with everything else that happened, we may win that series just given, the fact that he was there alone. And I think he was starting to get more comfortable. But at the end of the day, bringing a great glue guy like Danny Green back is huge for this team, and I think we needed it. And I think Daryl Morey saw that, and we were willing to pay a bit of a premium to bring him back here. $10 million for 2 years, or, each year, 2 years. But the huge thing is the team option, guys, because we can decline his option after next season. So, the leverage is really in our hands, and I think that is huge. And he might leave after next year, but the fact that we were able to pull off that team option, I think we agreed to up the price a little bit, and Danny might have come down a little bit, but the fact we were able to add that team option on there was huge. I was actually mistaken, as a couple days ago you probably saw, I thought that the Sixers were going to lose Danny Green, but I did not realize that we had the rights to his early bird rights, so we were able to sign him and go above the cap there, and we ended up using the taxpayer mid-level on George Niang. That way the Sixers did not get hard capped, and now we have a bit of a space left. But at the end of the day, Daryl Morey has done a great job filling out this supporting cast, in my opinion. We upgraded at the backup 4, the backup 5. I still think, we could use another bench scorer, but he brings Danny Green back, a very much needed shooting on this team and a great glue guy. And now we know what needs to happen, right? One more move, and that's kind of where we're at. Otherwise, we might actually be running it back. But anyway, Daryl Morey then tweeted out after this at like 2 a.m, and this is what he tweeted out. You let me know what you think this means. Daryl Morey put out a picture showing the Sixers starting lineup and showing how we had a better point differential than the Utah Jazz and the Bucks. Really, Daryl? No cat. Like, what was the point of this, Daryl? I understand you re-signed Danny Green. It's a great move, but really? Really? I hope this isn't an indication that we're running this back. I really hope this is not a signal of that. But I started to get a bit worried. I couldn't really sleep. I had a bad dream that we were going to run this thing back. I mean, what is the point of this, Daryl? Honestly, and at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, this might actually be a tactic for him to try to up Ben Simmons' trade. I feel like all these things he's done is just to try to up Ben Simmons' value and make it seem like, okay, we're keeping him. If another team wants to, put their cash into the middle of the table, they're going to have to really try to get him from us. And that's how it's been the entire time with some of these outlandish offers that we are hearing from Daryl Morey. But I don't know. That was interesting. The comment section was going absolutely crazy on that post. We'll see what it means. But who knows? But anyway, I was kind of reassured. And this is the last thing we'll talk about. A few minutes ago, right as I was getting on here, I saw this post from Jason Dumas, reporter over at Bleacher Report. He's had some interesting reports before, so I can't believe 100% of what he says, but he is a decent source and a decent reporter. He says, source, Ben Simmons has cut off communication with basically everybody in the Sixers organization. Everything is going through his agent, Rich Paul. Ben is open to going to the Golden State Warriors, though he doesn't have much leverage in the situation. You're right. He doesn't have much leverage. Rich Paul is going to do everything he can to, get Ben Simmons where he wants him to be. But at the end of the day, Daryl Morey's calling the shots. You know what I mean? And just the fact that something like this continues to come out, it just kind of reassures me, right? Like, you can't bring this guy back for the locker room's sake and for just the vibe of the team, right? We've done a decent job at building our supporting cast. We know what we are banking on. Daryl Morey's playing an interesting waiting game, and we're hoping that, a huge player like a Lillard requests out, right? But at the end of the day, this whole thing just sounds like a whole celebrity, route, right? Oh, he's cutting ties. He's lost communication. Oh, grow up, Ben Simmons. Grow a pair. Really? Either say you want to be here or say you don't. Honestly, I mean, come on, really? He's cut off communication with everyone. Good, cut off communication. Just like you cut off your scoring in the playoffs. Okay, I mean, it's Look, whether you go to the Warriors, the Kings, whatever, send them out west like I've been saying. Forget about them, and that's kind of where we're at with that. But honestly, I don't know if this is true or not, but there's just no way that I really see this guy coming back. I think Daryl Morey, you know, a lot of people were starting to get impatient. I was not one of the people to go overboard yet, but I was starting to worry. But at the end of the day, I really do think that we can put our trust in Morey. I think he has this handled because he found ways, he found some loopholes to get Danny Green back and to upgrade our bench, right, which is what we've been asking for. I don't see a way that he runs us back, seeing all the other moves transpiring in the East and just seeing how everything is going right now, especially, you know, Ben Simmons is, you know, making cryptic Instagram posts and, you know, the team is talking one way, he's looking at it another. I just don't see a possible way that he returns to the team, but we'll see if this is true. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later. Hopefully it pans out in our favor. That's just my thoughts. I'm glad to have Danny Green back, though, on this roster. I want to hear from all of you. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. What do you think about Danny Green coming back to the team? What do you think about Daryl Morey's tweet? And what do you make of this whole Ben Simmons rumor today? Give me all your thoughts down below in the comments section. I will be having an NBA reporter on later tonight during a live stream to talk some Sixers, so be sure to tune in. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect.